Welcome back to the Business Edge with Coach Gary. For this second edition, we're going to dive into selling a way of life. And it's a principle that's not just vital to those who are directly in sales, but also for anyone looking to succeed in various aspects of life and business. So, rooted in Grant Cardone's rich insights, we aim to unpack the essentiality, and yes, I think that's a real word, of sales skills for growth, leadership, and innovation. So without further ado, let's dive right into this second edition of The Business Edge with Coach Gary. Understanding sales as a fundamental skill. We have to start here. So fundamentally, sales are about influence, persuasion, and the ability to convey value compellingly. This critical skill extends beyond transactions and into almost every decision and interaction that we encounter. Recognizing this can dramatically shift how we approach challenges and opportunities in our personal and professional lives. So what does that really mean? It means that you're always selling. Whether you're in business, as a professional, with a client, with a prospect, with a leader, with a team member, or you're in your personal life. Are you selling someone to engage with you, to converse with you, to maybe agree with your idea or opinion? We're always selling. We're selling with our kids, we're selling with our spouses, we're selling with our parents, we're selling with our friends. Hey, what should we go hang out and do today? One friend has an idea, another friend has an idea, and you have a third idea. Whose idea is going to win? The one that's sold the best. So we are always selling, and that's really why this is such a fundamental skill. We just often don't think about, and nor do we certainly almost never talk about it in that framework. So the real world importance of sales skills, and I just went over some of those ideas as far as how they impact us and the different aspects of our life. But in business, the ability to sell ideas, prospects, and visions differentiates thriving companies from those that falter. So it's not merely about pushing a product, and in fact, it shouldn't be about pushing a product. It should be about finding solutions and matching those to our inventory of products. But it's about problem solving, right? So what I just said there, right? It's not the product, it's the problem that we solve. It's fulfilling a need, and it's creating meaningful connections, right? So one of the other concepts we think about is, what's the difference between a contact and a contract? Well, it's the relationship, right? So if we have a need and we have a solution to that need, if they're confident that we're the person to help them, that our company will be there to help them, that the product will solve their problem, that their problem needs a solution, then we can form a relationship and turn that contact into a contract. So that's really what we're looking to do in the real world implementation there of sales. So when you're implementing sales principles in your business strategy, what does that look like? Well, one, it's cultivating a selling mindset, right? We have to start with our mindset. It really controls everything else. What we think is what we say, and what we say is what we do, and what we do is the legacy that we leave. So you can begin by understanding that selling is important to all aspects of business and life. I've already covered this. But it's about creating and leveraging opportunities to advance your goals and the needs of your customers or stakeholders, right? So that's our selling mindset. Second part then is to know your value proposition inside and out. So we really have to have this down. Every business owner, entrepreneur, or professional must clearly articulate what makes their offering unique and why it matters to their audience. This clarity isn't just for external sales efforts, when we are dealing with a client, dealing with a prospect, but it's equally important for internal buy-in, right? So from securing investor support or to rallying the team around a new initiative. And really what that translates to is, if you don't have a clear vision that you understand, then how could anyone else? But even if you're not clearly communicating and articulating that, then nobody else knows where we're headed. So why are we going to follow, right? The greatest leaders in history have been able to clearly identify to their audience, whether that be their troops, their workers, their team members, maybe entire countries to rally behind them. But in pursuit of what, right? And most powerfully, it's in pursuit of a goal, right? Not through fear and oppression. So what we're using here then is that value proposition. By knowing it so thoroughly, we really are able to clearly articulate that and bring people with us as a leader through selling than as someone who is just dragging them kicking and screaming to come with. Because that won't work with your clients. It certainly won't work with your clients. And it may work with your family and your personal life, but how well and for so long, I'd rather not find out. The next thing then is embracing the art of listening. And effective selling is as much about listening as it is about speaking. So understanding your audience's needs, challenges, and aspirations enables you to tailor your approach and solutions, making those sales efforts more impactful and meaningful. Simply said, we have to listen to know what the problem is, and we have to listen to know what solutions might fit. We have to listen to understand how that comes together into maybe a product or an offering that we have. And then we have to listen to see how that product, solution, offering is received. And then we need to listen in case there's any objections. And then we speak a little, right? So in between, our speaking is moving the ball. We're driving through a conversation. We have to be listening. And it really is an art. It's about effective listening, and it is about listening to understand rather than listening to then be heard, right? So it's not so much that we're listening to get our response out. It really is that we want to understand. And from there, you're going to tailor everything, and it's going to make so much more sense. So as we go through, then those are the top three, I would say, is cultivating a mindset, know your proposition inside and out, and embrace the art of listening. Really, truly embrace it. And that is a skill set. So when we've got that, then we're going to generate winning clients. And those winning clients then are going to give us testimonials. So the power of testimonials in selling is that in place of fictional stories where we're just making things up that are maybe demonstrative of what we hope to achieve or maybe even what we have achieved, but they're fictional. Instead, we're going to leverage real testimonials from satisfied clients, successful projects, and we can powerfully illustrate the impact of effective selling. So what you're doing here is you're going to take real success stories and then share them to the world, right? And better yet, we get that successful individual, that client, to share it on our behalf. So these narratives are going to validate your approach and offerings. They're going to humanize your brand, and they're going to make the stories relatable and inspiring to your audience. One of the key things here is that we can include some diversity, and I don't mean in the woke 2024 version definition of diversity. What I mean is we can show different people in different lights. So I may be talking to right now, and I've got one light. You have a certain opinion of me, my appearance, the fact that I'm wearing glasses or not, I'm wearing a polo instead of a suit. There's all these things that can factor in. So even within one certain individual, we can change factors and create some diversity. But also, if you think about it, I'm a male. I'm a younger man. So if you are maybe a younger woman, maybe there's some relation on age, but we're not the same gender. So now there's a disconnect, potentially. So if I can have a young woman come on and give a testimonial and say how working together has been great, then that's now more relatable. Other things, culture, race, religion, common interests, common beliefs, shared values, all of these can create that diversity we're looking for. So as you look at your client base, try and get testimonials from everyone, first of all, because if they're willing to give a testimonial, then they're satisfied and you've effectively sold. But also then, as you're deploying those, look for some variation. Don't all put, younger guys in their 20s and 30s, right? Mix it in. Mix in some of the ladies. Mix in different races, cultures. A great one to mix in is different levels within a profession, especially if you're working with multiple tiers. Find somebody who's at an entry level. Find somebody who's middle management. Find an executive, and then find an owner, right? Each of those people represent a very different stage, and their testimony then hits differently. Comes from a different perspective, different experience, maybe a different measure of success, and certainly will connect to a different part of your audience. So that really is that power of testimonials. And then, of course, we want to give you some actionable tips. So this primarily, it's going to be for you business owners. If you're not a business owner, don't tune off. These are still going to apply to you. But if you are a business owner, heads up, these are coming in for you. So leverage client testimonials. We just spent a good amount of time explaining what that entails, and incorporate the feedback and success stories into your marketing and your sales presentations. It's going to build credibility and trust. If you've got a great testimonial that your marketing team has gotten or your client retention team has gotten, push that over to your sales team. Put that right into their slide deck, right into their demonstration. If you're hosting an event, show those testimonials during the warm-up while people are finding their seats. These are great ways to implement testimonials, and they will make a difference. The second thing then is continuous learning and adaptation. We have to stay flexible. Let's be realistic. Things change too quickly in today's day and age. If you're not moving forward, you're dying. So the landscape of sales and business, it's ever evolving, and you have to commit to ongoing learning. It can be courses, mentorship, industry news, articles, working with a coach, working with a mentor, working in a mastermind. If you got a buddy who's in a different niche, also owns a business, follow up with that person and say, hey, can we share best practices? All of that's going to build you to then a continuous learning and adaptation cycle, which is going to be critical to your long-term success. And then the next thing is building a sales-oriented culture. So we talked about culture a little bit in the last edition. In the sales-oriented culture, we really want to encourage that everyone is sales. So if we think of, and I'll borrow something from the military here. So if you're ever familiar with the Marine Corps, anyone who is in the Marine Corps, ask them what every Marine is, and you're going to get a very simple answer, a rifleman first. So in that instance, every Marine a rifleman means that in its role of fulfilling combat in the defense of our country, every single member of that team is able to take on those responsibilities and do them effectively. Now, certainly there's specialization, and of course we know the importance of that, but everyone can do that fundamental role. Now in business, it's not defense of our country most likely, although you may be in that niche. What it really is, the lifeblood though in business, is cash flow. Cash flow comes from sales. So if every Marine a rifleman means that they're able to effectively engage the enemy or defend themselves, then as a business, everyone in the company needs to effectively engage our prospects and then convert them into clients. This is the lifeblood of the business. So a sales-oriented culture means that everyone studies sales to a degree. Your sales team, of course, is going to be the specialist, but your accountants, your account executives, your admin staff all have opportunities. They have contact points with your clients. And even if they're primarily internal-facing organization within the larger company, they still have client impact. So we need to study sales. One of the greatest ways to do that is actually through Cardone University. On a corporate account, every single person can train, and you can specialize which teams are training on what content. But everyone then is getting through that training. 20, 30 minutes a day is all it takes. And that then brings the whole company together, one singular cultural cohesion that sets that tone then for the company. And it's so crucial that new hires get brought into this, and existing employees that they have buy-in, right? So that may be the larger challenge, and I'm more than happy to help you with that. Reach out to me, please, if you have any questions. So what we're really looking to do, and to just summarize that up, is we want a unified understanding of the value proposition, the confidence, and the ability to communicate that to transform the reach and impact of your business, right? So essentially, to be able to sell more. And that means everybody is a salesperson, right? So in conclusion, mastering sales for comprehensive growth means that sales mastery offers more than just business growth. It's a pathway to personal development, leadership excellence, and lasting impact. As we move forward, let's embrace sales' comprehensive role in shaping our futures. Armed with the right strategies, insights, and real-life success stories, we're going to be able to engage then with our audience. And speaking of engagement, thank you for watching today. Thank you for reading the newsletter, being a subscriber, and I encourage you, if you haven't subscribed already, this is that cue. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We'd love to see you be part of the group, part of the community of business professionals looking to grow. And again, if you have three people that you know would also benefit, that this resonated with you, think of three others. Who can I share this with? Who might also benefit from this content? My real intention with this is to reach a broad audience, to deliver factual, proven, practical advice to help you to grow your business. So if you can think of those three individuals, please share them. Go ahead and comment. Tag them in that comment with your takeaway. I appreciate all of it. And until next time, keep reaching for the top.